What's going on, guys? CWG here. Welcome to a brand spanking new video. In the previous video, we spent 100 days to get started in the All the Mods 10 mod pack. And I say, we made a pretty decent head start, huh? Why is there a bunch of freaking withers behind me? Well, let me explain what's happened in between episodes. So, in today's video, we're going to be working on Extreme Reactors. Now, I've played with Extreme Reactors in previous mod packs, but this is like new. There's new multi-blocks, all the textures look different. Hello, it's going to be freaking awesome. And we're going to use the reactor to power all the stuffs and things that we're going to need. Now, what's going on with these withers? I think we got pranked by Hellfire Mage, I guess, someone from Team B, and they made the statues, you know, those statues that you get from killing mobs. I guess they've been killing a lot of withers. Dang, what do they need all these nether stars for? I don't know. But what's ridiculous about them is you can make these statues like stupidly big for some reason. Yeah, that's a bit ridiculous. Do you think we can fly through them? Oh yeah, we can. Anyways, let's go over the different stuffs and things we did. Now, first of all, look at this. These are called shared waystones. Share stones? Yeah, that makes sense. Basically, it makes it so anyone in your team, when you place down a waystone, it will automatically unlock for the other people in your team. You can see they've been to the deep dark already. There's the end portal. There's the ancient city that they went to. Yeah, all kinds of different things. And then this, the yellow one, this is Team B. So this is actually all of their waypoints. Ooh, be very naughty if I teleported to those. Now, last episode, we set up bees and then we lost our bees. But I'm proud to tell you, our bees are back, baby. I got all these bees back. We even got new bees. You see TNT? Yep, we got creeper bees for gunpowder. We got ender bees for ender pearls. We got prosperity bees for prosperity shards. We'll go over that later. And then we got draconic bees for draconic combs, so that way we can make draconic chunks to make draconic chugs to make inactive dragon eggs to make the max tier centrifuge. Yeah, that's a thing. And yes, I know this one's off by one block. Gonna have to fix that, but these draconic bees are very aggressive, so I'm scared. Now, if I sleep real quick, we should see the bees all pop out of their hives. Oh yeah, look at them all. They're so cute. And now, it is a bit sad, but I have to block them all in using these glass blocks, so that way they don't try to escape and like teleport all over the place. No, they all gotta stay in their one by one holes, where they will live forever and ever. Now, if you think this is a lot of bees, you're mistaken, because if we look up B and JI here, there's a stupid amount of bees. And I thought, you know, the only bees I really want to make are the ones that we can't get from mystical agriculture, you know, using plants to get stuff. And over here, we're setting up plants to get stuff. And yeah, you can see Styrkat's running around doing her thing. But over here, we are farming Inferium essence. Look at all this essence that we've been getting. All you gotta do is plant some Inferium seeds, and then they grow up like this, and then produce you a butt ton of Inferium, which is like needed to make everything in this pack. And of course, you can combine Inferium together using the infusion crystal to get higher and higher tiers of essence, in which I think there's like 6 different tiers. Yeah, it goes from the light green, dark green, then it goes orange, blue, red, and then you can combine red to make purple, I think. Yeah, it's kind of a big process, and you can see the different farmlands I've been trying out. I tried out fertilized farmland from farming for blockheads, which is pretty good. I also been using the green and the red farmland, which is a farmland from the mystical agriculture mod you can see here. But Supremium farmland is like really good, but it requires a Supremium essence just to make one, so that is quite expensive. But I'm pretty sure the Supremium farmland, if we look at it here, you get 200% more drops with this. So basically every 1 drop that you would get, you get 3, because it's 200% more. That's just how percentages work. Now the highest tier of farmland is Insanium farmland, which yeah, is 4 Supremium, which is a bit too expensive for us at the moment. And I'm kind of curious how good that farmland is. Now underneath here, we've been working on growth accelerators, which you can put up to 9 of the first tier ones underneath the farmland, and it just speeds up the growth of the crops above it, which is why when you look at the crops, you can be like, oh, these ones over here are growing quite fast. But these ones over here doesn't even look like they're growing at all. Yeah, because there's no growth accelerators underneath of them. So we're gonna need to make 1 kajillion growth accelerators for these stupid plants. Over here you can see the different tiers of growth accelerators. The first tier goes up to 9 blocks below, and it requires Inferium gemstones, so a ton of diamonds and a ton of prosperity shards. But you remember, we did set up a prosperity bee, because you can only get prosperity from mining or through bees. Oh, it looks like Styrkat made some glowstone seeds. Neat, I guess you need some glowstone. Over here, we got all kinds of random crops that we've been getting from the quest book, including a diamond crop that we're speeding up using an applied energistic growth accelerator, which does take power. Oh, she gave me the seed. I guess we'll just plant it here next to this growth accelerator, which you can see, they definitely grow faster than the ones not next to a growth accelerator. Pretty cool. And then, as you can tell, these crops are being automatically harvested because underneath these chests are a harvester pylon, which automatically harvests a 9x9 area around it and doesn't even need power. It's from the pylon mod, which is in the quest book here. There's like different pylons you can make. There's like one that does beacon effects. Pretty neat. But yeah, they don't require power. You just throw a hoe in there and it harvests all the different stuff. Like, look at all the different essence. We're getting coal essence that can be used to make, wow, coal and some other things. We're getting all this diamond essence. If we take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stacks, we can combine all of them together to get a stack of diamonds. Pretty amazing. So yeah, we're starting to get into mystical agriculture as well. I think Team B is farther ahead for the moment, but you guys have watched the channel before. You know what the CWG grind is capable of. Plus, with our amazing teammates, I'm not worried in the slightest. Okay, maybe I'm a little bit worried. If we look at the recipe for the star that we need to, like, you know, beat the game, the recipe literally goes off the screen, so it's kind of hard to tell, but they've already made the creative essence, I think, so they already have one of the things that you need from the star. But don't worry, there's plenty of other things like 3x nether star blocks, unobtainium, all the bodium alloy blocks. Like, I'm not even gonna get into that stuff yet. We got a ways to go, so that's why I'm not too worried yet. Anyways, if we go back to our bees, let's go to our bee basement where our processing is taking place. Ta-da! Here we go. So we got centrifuges, which if you look at here, you can see the combs are spinning in there. Look at them go. It basically takes the comb, spins them up, and we get ender pearls out of it. Well, for the ender combs. And this one, we got prosperity combs, which are making prosperity shards and wax. This one's actually the powered one, which, how are we making power? Well, let's look. These honeycombs make honey, and then the honey gets put into the tank, and then the honey goes into a honey generator. Yes, we're making electricity using honey. Who would have thought that's possible? And we're using the power to power different machines. We got a breeding chamber to breed bees. We got a baby incubator to make them grow from babies to adults like very quickly. You see, we got like speed upgrades of these guys. Those are just crafted with like clocks and upgrade bases that we've been finding while looting. So it's not too bad. We also got like a couple other random machines, one from Mechanism, one from Ender.io. So you love to see it. So this thing basically powers itself. It makes honey, goes into the honey generator, and then that power goes back in through the back using the Ender.io energy conduits. We're also using the Ender.io item conduits, and we're using that to suck the combs out of the different hives and then push them into the centrifuge. We have like filter upgrades, so that way they go to the right one. Now, why do they need to go to separate ones? Because the ender combs actually make a different kind of juice. They make liquid chorus, which then goes into the drying basin, which dries it out and makes these cool little crystallized chorus blocks, which are from the integrated dynamics mod, which can be used to make stuffs and things. Yeah, try not to get too overwhelmed, but basically we're taking the combs and we're turning it into useful stuff like gunpowder, chorus fruit, ender pearls. There's the prosperity shards. We already got 1,200. You love to see it. And we got like 7,000 wax. Like, what the heck is this wax even used for? We have so much of it. It can be used to wax different copper items. Oh yeah, there's a freaking mod in this pack called Everything is Copper. They add like copper everything. There's copper anvils, copper ladders, copper lanterns, copper hoppers. Like, people have always complained that Mojang hasn't added enough uses for copper. This mod fixes that. They make copper everything. I mean, copper chains, and they can all weather like normal copper. Like, oh man, you gotta gotta love these mods in the newest versions because they're so much different than like the 1.7 mod packs that I'm used to. So anyways, you guys have seen the bees, you guys have seen the crops. One last thing that we've been working on off camera, you can see there's a warp plate here. If we stand onto it, it takes us to our storage room. Underneath, we got the blaze farm going, which has been working quite well. If we go down to the basement here, you can see we're actually turning the liquid XP into gummy bears now using an XP solidifier. And look, there's 84 gummy bears in there. You could just like pop them out, shift right click, eat a bunch of them, boom, bunch of levels. Well, I mean, we're level 94, so we don't really need more levels, but yeah, pretty cool. By the way, this is the warp plate from the Waystones mod. You guys have seen us use that in Vault Hunters. Now we've added even more drawers full of many different items. So in our system here, we got all kinds of stuffs and things. We got Styrkat over here who's working on an Ars Naval room. Ooh, this is looking pretty cool. And if we run over to here, here's something special I've been working on. Welcome to the Extractor Extractivaganza. Basically, there's these things called extractors from the Zycraft Machines mod. They're crafted using some aluminum and a piston and like an item port. You know, it's not really that expensive. But you can put certain blocks underneath them, like a budding amethyst with some water, and you can basically generate infinite resources depending on what blocks you put around it. Like, for example, we got water on this side, lava on this side, cobble here, extractor, boom. 25,000 stone. Now, there's a mod in this pack called like all the compressed things or something. Yeah, all the compressed. And there's so many different blocks you can compress now. And as you can see, it compresses the stone into all the forms. You know, in here there's 2x compressed stone, which could be broken up into 1x compressed. It basically saves on storage space because each compacting drawer can hold 512 double compressed blocks, which ends up being 41,000 normal blocks. We got one over here making moss. We got one making these strange blue crystals that make a funny noise if you punch them. Listen. There's your ASMR for the day. We got one making basalt, one making blackstone, one making deep slate, cobblestone, endstone, mud. That's right, we're in the newer versions of Minecraft, right? Usually mud is a modded item, but mud is real. Mud's in vanilla now. You could use mud to make packed mud and then chisel it into all kinds of different mud blocks. Yeah, those look pretty cool, you gotta admit. We're also making netherrack, we're also making skulk. This is made by putting a skulk catalyst underneath skulk to make infinite skulk. Yep. Monocle and Styrkat went to the ancient city without me. Nah, mainly because I was asleep. I'm on night shift rotation now. But yeah, they managed to snag some skull stuff, so that's pretty awesome. We got one making ice, one making freaking Certus quartz dust, which is going to be amazing for AE. Like, we got infinite silicon, and we could actually turn these guys into Certus quartz crystals. If you combine it with a charged in water, it basically turns the dust into a normal crystal. Pretty cool. We got one for calcite, one for amethyst, one for dripstone, one for grains of infinity, which is used for crafting Ender IO machines. We're sucking a dragon's head to make dragon's breath. Look at all this. We're sucking a dragon egg, which I'm pretty sure is the only one on the server, and we got 2,000 dragon eggs. Look at all these. You ever seen this many dragon eggs? This is ridiculous. You guys cannot tell Team B about this. They cannot know how many dragon eggs that we have. We also got granite, diorite, andesite, infinite lava, and chorus fruit by putting an endstone and a chorus flower above. Pretty neat. Also, we got this awesome meeting table here. Look, you got the yellow chair for me, you got the purple for Styrkat, blue for Monocle, and red for Rob. Pretty awesome. So yeah, things are cooking over here on the Team Modded Misfits. Now, if we're sneaky enough, we can go spy on the other team's base to see what progress they've made. I hope you guys have been checking out their channels and seeing the stuff they've been doing over there, because it's actually been pretty cool. Let's teleport to the castle here. Man, these freaking share stones are so cool. And is there anything new going on in here? There's a chest that says share stones. Okay, that's neat. They got some interesting stuff. Oh, they got a netherite furnace. What the heck? Supremium coal? Yeah, they've been going ham with the mystical agriculture. I think if we go around here, yeah, they made like a separate item for their mystical crops. And oh my gosh, remember how we were talking about growth accelerators before? Look at this. They have like a max setup for all the freaking tiers of growth accelerators, which is freaking ridiculous. We'll have to get there at some point, but it takes an insane amount of grind to get to that point. And look how fast these crops are growing because of it. Yeah, it looks like they got some nether crops, some skeleton, and wither skeleton. Very interesting. They got their infusion set up, which is made using freaking some premium blocks, which is insanely expensive. An awakening altar, I don't even know what that's used for. And all the different freaking essences. Yeah, they're going a bit ham. Make sure you guys check out their channels and check out this really cool quartz grass topped walls. I like these. This is like some California style walls, if they had rain. Looks like they're also making some sort of island over there, but yeah, like I said, you guys should check out their channels. They're definitely making good progress as well. This competition, I think, is definitely going to be close. So anyways, back to the topic of this video, we're going to be doing extreme reactors. What do we need for extreme reactors? Well, we're going to need all kinds of different components like rods to hold the fuel. We're going to need casings. We're going to need uranium, which we're probably going to use crops for in order to get uranium, because we could just grow the uranium, you know, growing your own fuel. Sounds healthy. And like, for example, we're going to need a lot of this graphite, which could be made by smelting coal or charcoal, or we could make the crop for it. I mean, there's like a freaking crop for everything, I swear. But yeah, it's going to be like way easier to explain all this stuff once I actually crafted all the components and we can put it together. There's also like new multi-blocks and stuff in here. I've used the Extreme Reactors mod in packs before, but this has been updated to the 121 version, and there's like a lot of new stuff, and all the textures are different, and I'm really excited to see what it looks like when we build it. Like, what is all this stuff? A completely different fuel processing lab, and look, it's stuff that you need for the star. If you see a little star in the quest book here, it means the item is required for the All the Mods star, which is pretty neat. So I'm gonna grind out all this stuff, and I mean, we'll be back.
You wanna build a reactor? First get some uranium, then you need some graphite, and store it in your cranium. Now we make reactor casings, and some control rods too. Next is rod for fuel cells. Buying glass, you know it's true. Making the last reactor parts, then I get hit by a tractor. I need to make reinforced parts to make the 7x7 reactor. This means I need tons of steel, at least 10 stinking stacks. We can finally put the reactor together, including the reactor glass. We finish up the reactor and place the final block. Finally we are done. I look at the final product and I am in shock.
And we did it! We got our reactor, baby! Hope you guys enjoyed the montage. And look at this beautiful thing. We have so many fuel rods in this thing, and as you guys saw in the time lapse, we had to upgrade to the reinforced type. Apparently, if you make a reactor bigger than 5x5x5, you have to use the reinforced type. And if we look at the difference in the recipes, the normal type just requires graphite and iron, pretty cheap. But the reinforced type requires block of iron, which is whatever because we have an iron farm, but also requires steel, which is made in an alloy smelter, which we do have underneath the B setup. So it was quite expensive to make all that steel, but we got everything now. And look at this baby. There's so many fuel cells. Those things in the middle that you see going vertically, those hold the uranium. Up here's the control rods. This controls the power of the reactor. As you guys know, I used to operate reactors on a submarine. You know, people who know their CWG lore. Let's take a quick nap on the floor. But anyways, let's give this thing a test run. I must say, I really love the new textures in this version. And finally, the reactor glass is like connected, so it looks extra good. Let's open up our controller here. Look at this. It looks all different now. You got like your reactivity, your burn rate. You got all kinds of things. That's where you turn on the reactor. This is where you scram. Now, I made this one passively cooled for now. You can see on the power tap, it can hold 8 million FE of power. Passive cooling basically means that the heat of the reactor goes to the casing and then out to atmosphere, which isn't very realistic or very safe for that matter, but in extreme reactors, you don't have to worry about your reactor melting down. This reactor cannot melt down. It's like reactors for dummies. Now, here's the inlet spot that we could put in the uranium. I think we could just put a stack into here. Yep, it gets sucked up. Oh, it actually shows the uranium going into the rods. Oh, this is awesome. Let's put in some more uranium. Everything we got. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, it's almost full. Look at all of this. And now, if you're wondering why I picked the orientation of the fuel rods, basically you want spaces in between your rods that increases the efficiency of your fuel. In fact, I even have like a little plus side that's hollow in the middle. This will increase the efficiency so it's not as fuel hungry, but there's so many things of fuel rods, it's still going to consume a lot of fuel. If we look at our quest book here, you see the thing that we need for the star involves us reprocessing the waste. What is the waste? Well, I guess let's turn this thing on. First of all, I did make a uranium seed so that way we can grow our own fuel. I mean, the uranium I put in there now is simply what we have mined. Let's see, how much essence do we have? We don't have too much essence yet. We gotta let this thing build. I mean, look at all the random essences we're getting. And just like this, we can turn it into 16 uranium. I guess that's not that much. We might need more crops or just AFK it. We only need enough crops so that way it will keep up with the burn rate of this reactor. So let's throw in the uranium. And I mean, I think we could give this thing a test run. Why not? Like, unless they change something, these reactors should not be able to explode. Also, there's a scram to emergency shut down the reactor. What does scram stand for again? It's something something rod axe man, because there used to be a guy who would stand on top of the control rods here with an axe, and then if the reactor was unsafe, he would chop the rope, and then the control rods would fall into the core and then shut down the reactor, you know? There's some fun reactor lore for you guys. If you guys have any questions about operating reactors, ask me in the comments. I could answer them. All right, let's turn this baby on. How much fuel are we making? 20,000 FE per tick. Oh my gosh, remember, our honey generator was only making 64 RF per tick, same with our diamond one. And now we're up to what? 39,000? Oh, our battery's already almost full. And once it's full, it's just gonna waste power. So we might as well turn this thing off. Oh man, we're making almost 40,000 FE per tick. That is way more than we were making before, and it barely used any fuel. In fact, did we get any waste? No, it hasn't even produced a single waste. This is our waste outlet port over here. And I believe it makes plutonium or cyanide. I don't know. I think it is plutonium. Here, this is gonna waste power, but I wanna just run this thing enough to see what the output waste is. It looks like we're burning 0.4 millibuckets per tick, which I don't know how that equates to ingots, but it's definitely a thing. Look how hot our core is. Because it's passively cooled, it gets very hot in there. But later down the line, we're going to be able to like insert water into here, and it'll turn the water into steam that we can burn into a turbine. It still hasn't even depleted any fuel yet. This is insane. I guess a little bit, 0.18%. Oh baby, look at this thing. Make me waste, you dummy. Now while we're waiting for this thing to make waste, apparently there's a multi-block inside of extreme reactors that can hold power. And this definitely did not exist before. Let me see if I can find it. There's like the Energizer controller, Energizer casings. I mean, can we make this? I mean, oh, it's a ton of redstone. Why? Why is it always redstone? It even has a computer port for computer craft. Oh, it made a waste. Quickly, let's scram the reactor, and then that should shut it down. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And we got it, a cyanide ingot. Now, this could be reprocessed, as you can see here, with water to make plutonium, and plutonium can be used as fuel in another reactor. And eventually you go down this fuel processing chain until you get to insanite. Insanity? Oh, this is going to be very fun. And as you can see, the quest to make the turbine is up here. Now, you know what's funny, guys? Even though the only way to get cyanide is by cooking uranium inside of the reactor, but we actually managed to get a cyanide seed from one of the quests. Let's see if I can find it. Ah, right here, a cyanide plant. And we've actually gotten a ton of cyanide essence that we could just kind of like convert directly into cyanide. So you could just bypass the whole reactor process, I guess. But hey, we need the power anyway. Now we need to figure out how to make the battery. Alright guys, so I was gonna make that giga battery we were talking about, but upon looking at the recipe for the energy cell that we need, first we need beniatite, you know, just like in Vault Hunters. And this comes from beniatite ore. We've already mined a bunch of that in the nether. If we look in the system, we got 355 Benny boys. You'll love to see it. But you also need something very illegal. Look, we need magnetite blocks, which apparently come from reprocessing plutonium waste from the reactor. So I'm gonna have to go down the quest line here of the reprocessor stuffs and things. So I guess enjoy another time lapse? I'm not gonna make a song for this cause it's short, so enjoy the blocks being placed. Yeah. Alright, I give up. And there we go, guys. We got the reprocessor multi-block done. This is a new multi-block to the Extreme Reactors mod. You used to just reprocess through, I think like single block machines, but now there's a multi-block, so that's cool. Of course, the inventory's black, but ignore that. I'm too lazy to reload my textures right now. We got a sink pumping water into the fluid injector port, you know, the sink, the classic infinite water block in modded Minecraft. Totally intentional. We're powering it from the reactor itself, and the only thing we have to do now is put in some cyanide. So we have some in this drawer here. Let's turn this pipe onto sucky suck mode, and it should put it into here. Nice, there's 3 cyanide. I know you can't see the freaking inventory. You know what, let me reload my textures real quick and hope it doesn't crash my game. Hey, my game didn't crash. Hey, now we can actually look inside of here. Sweet. So all we gotta do is turn this thing on, and it should come out of this port over here, I think. All right, on. It's doing it. It made a plutonium. And is it right here? It's right there. OMG. Let me make a quick drawer. Let's just slap a drawer right about here. Throw in one of them pipes, pipe it out, and yes, we got our very first plutonium ingot. Do we get an advancement? Yes, we do. Let's claim that quest. What's it gonna give us? We get a block of redstone. Yay. 1 singular block. Some of these rewards are a bit lackluster. But now that we have plutonium, we can actually feed this into another reactor, and then it should give us the magnetite that we need, I think. Well, only one way to find out. We gotta make ourselves a mini reactor. Ta-da! Look at it! I made a super cute little minimum sized basic reactor. It's so adorable. All we gotta do is pipe that plutonium in there. Look, it's sucking it out. It's inside of it. Nice. Let me get more plutonium real quick. We just gotta chuck a bunch of cyanide in this drawer, and it should go into our reprocessor. It's automatically making plutonium. It should automatically be going into the reactor. Nice. Now we just turn this bad boy on. How much power does this thing make? I mean, it makes about 1,000 per tick, which is like 40 times less than this guy, but you know, we don't need it for power, we need it for waste, as weird as that sounds. So now we just gotta see what waste it makes, and hopefully it's the magnetite stuff that I'm looking for. Boys, we finally got it. It took like 45 minutes of waiting. Oh, whoops, wrong button. Yeah, here. Oh no. But yes, we finally got it. We got a singular magnetite ingot. Let's go. But remember, we're gonna need 9 of these in order to make a singular energy core for our big battery we want to make. So it looks like I'm gonna have to make this reactor bigger, actually, just so it can chew through plutonium faster. Or the other way to get magnetite is through bees. There is a magnetite bee, but in order to get the magnetite bee, you have to feed a plutonium bee a magnetite block. To get the plutonium bee, you have to look up the egg recipe, which means you have to send a cyanide bee through the reprocessor to get the plutonium bee. To get the cyanide bee, we have to search that up separately. And you need to serve a radioactive bee a cyanide block. And to get the radioactive bee, you need the iron bee with the creeper bee. We already got the creeper bee, but we do have to get the iron bee, which is some more bees. Yeah, that's a lot of bee grinding. That sounds like something I could do in between episodes. I'll probably grow this reactor to a 5x5x5. I don't think it has to be the full 7x7, because once you go bigger than 5x5x5, you have to use like a butt ton of steel, and I'm trying to avoid that if I can. But like I said, I'll do that in between episodes. Hope you guys enjoyed the video of getting extreme with reactors. Make sure you subscribe so you're here for the next one. CWG, ow.
Then I get hit by a tractor. I need to make